What do you think are the special challenges facing a young woman starting a business? And what is the best piece of advice you can give to a young woman starting a business?
Joan, do you want to answer?
Yeah, forget young woman. If you've got it, you've got it. Don't say, as a woman. Just do it. Screw them. You're smarter, you're better, you're brighter. Go for it.
I can't stand political correctness. It, I think, is one of the reasons that the society is just falling to pieces. We're all so terrified to say anything. Everyone is pulling the race card. You know, whether I'm a woman and you touch me, oh, calm down. And that's why you fired me. We fired you because you're stupid. That's why we fired, you know.
Even with your fashion critiquing, while it's very mean in some ways, people can't wait to hear what you have to say. Really? It's not mean?
You can. It's not mean. I tell the truth. I'm sure I say the same things that all your viewers say to their friends sitting next to them on the couch. You know, we're one of the few shows that says that's an ugly dress. And that's okay. These ladies make $28 million a picture. You really think that Nicki Minaj cares? I didn't like her dress. You know, when you're in that kind of a bracket, you don't really care.
Yeah, you're not really worried about feelings being hurt.
Well, not when it's about dresses. It's not about them. It's about clothing.
I mean, do you feel like there are boundaries ever? You know, even if it makes people uncomfortable or offend people, or what?
Life is very tough, and if you can make a joke to make something easier and funny, do it. Done. Do it. That's all. Darlene, I don't know what your life has been like, but I have a lot of people who have gone through hell. And if you can make, Winston Churchill said, if you make someone laugh, you give them a little vacation. And maybe you take the worst thing in the world and make it funny. It's a vacation for a minute from horror.
Yeah, and people love to laugh. I mean, clearly that's why people love you. But they also know that you know, you have some shock value to you. I mean, you're on the cover of your book. You're wearing a fur, and you knew that there would probably be animal rights activists. You know, this whole interview is becoming a defensive interview. No!
Are you wearing leather shoes?
Yes!
Shut up.
I'm talking...
You know what I mean? I don't want to hear. You're wearing fur. You're wearing leather shoes.
I'm not an activist,
You're eating chicken.
Yeah.
You're eating meat. I don't want to hear this nonsense. Come to me with a paper belt, and I'll talk to you.
Do you feel any taboo subjects inside you? Do you feel, no, I can't really talk about that?
If I can talk about it, then I figure it's not taboo. And certain things I won't talk about.
Such as?
It depends on the moment. But I think death of a child, very difficult. It's also, you know, all the cliches, tragedy plus time is comedy. You know, and it's all true. There's certain things you're just not ready to laugh at.
I remember hearing you say one time that you wanted 7% of the audience to leave shocked.
Yes.
How come?
Because that means you've shaken them and made them wake up to face things they haven't faced. Lovely to see you. Happy to be here. Well, no. I like taking them and saying, look at this. Whether it goes back to political correctness. For God's sake, stop and look at this. And so comedy is rough, and I like that. I like that you can talk about things that everyone says you can't talk about. Yes, you can, and let's.
Do you think it's important for us to really go head right into it, name it, and label it?
Yes, I think if you know what if you know who your enemy is, or you know who your problem is, you can deal with it. I have cancer. Okay, terrible, awful, horrible. But by a woman saying that, you now know what it is and what you're going to do about it and where you're going. And by saying it, it's not so bad. Nothing is so terrible once it's out, because you're going to find out 4 other ladies in the room are going to say, me too. And suddenly, I'm not alone.
Right.
You know, if you keep everything inside, you think I'm the only one that's suffering here with bad thighs.
Since black offends Joan, I will make
it... Wait, no, just stop right now. Black does not offend me. How dare you? How dare you say that? Black offends me? You know nothing about me. You sat down here. How
How
I
dare
said
you?
The use of the term black offends you.
Well, the use of the term black offends me? Where the hell are you coming from? You have got such a chip on your shoulder. I don't give a damn if you're black, white,
I do.
black. I couldn't care less. It's what the person is. And don't you dare call me a racist. I don't know you. And I want an apology.
I don't think it was
You said
personal,
the term
Joan.
black offends me?
I don't think it was personal,
Oh,
Joan.
I think it was. When someone says the term black offends Joan, I will not sit here and be sad that. How dare you
I
say
think
that
this is
to
a
me?
language problem.
No, I don't. I think this is a problem in your stupid
Caribbean-
head. You had a child, you left them, your wife said you weren't there, you married a woman, you deserted her, now your son comes back, he's got problems. Where were you when he was growing up till he was 8 years
May we
old?
continue?
Yes, you sir, but don't you dare call me a
May-
racist.
Yeah.
Don't you dare call me a racist.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know, but I will not be that. I will not. How dare you?
I have great sympathy with both sides, but I am starting
Both
to feel
sides,
like Oprah.
and you're a racist. I mean, aren't you amazed? I mean, it's, how stupid can somebody say that? Now, please continue, but don't you dare call me that, son of a bitch.
Right, Darkus, can we just
Yes,
say
please
that
continue about this wonderful father who left us 3 children.
Can we just say that you don't think Joan is a racist, and then perhaps we can move on?
Damn right. I will not continue.
I don't know whether she's a racist or not. I don't care.
You said the word black offense?
Normally,
That's the
I wouldn't
stupidest
meet,
thing I ever heard.
Normally, I wouldn't ever meet
But
you in
don't
my
you,
life.
No, nor would I choose to meet you.
Okay.
Nor would I choose to meet
Hey,
you.
listen, we're going to...
No, she's not a racist.
Thank you.
Okay,
Please
right,
continue
okay.
about your stupid film.
Right. Can we talk about your tour, Joan?
Talk about...
I know.
Talk about anything you want.
I don't think you brought me here to be insulted.
I didn't know it was I brought here to be insulted by someone to be called a racist.
Let's go on with my film, please.
Please go on with your film.
I think we have to move on now for time reasons to Joan.
Please go to Andrea. I'm so upset.
Andrea, should we talk about plant photography?
Please.
While Joan and Darkus glare at each other in the corner. I think, you see, this is why we bring in plant photographers in moments like
Has
this.
anybody ever sued you? Has anybody really, said, I'm going to stop this lady from doing this number?
Because everything I say is true, Barbara. Well, how can they sue me? Was Elizabeth Taylor thin?
No.
If we went into court, she would have needed at that point 2 chairs. So who are they going to believe, right? Queen of England, I said at the line that she should keep her legs together. They took a picture of her in a short skirt, and her legs were apart, like the lady sitting in the subway. So if we had to go into court, I would have produced the picture. Everything is true that I talk about.
Nothing embarrasses you.
On the stage, nothing. Yeah. In private life, everything.
You're very different off stage than on. What's the difference?
On stage, I say all the things I think about in the shower. It's like if you go to a party and the next day you say, I should have said that to that one. And then the nice thing is you go on stage and you say it. Because I'm very shy and I'm very pulled back. I hate to meet new people. And I'm very intimidated by the greats.
Why is this happening? Because you're reaching a younger demographic. You call yourself the queen of the gays.
You're queen of the gays, no question
that
about
demographic.
it. Should be wearing a hat.
And what is it that is drawing these groups to
I
you?
don't know. A long time ago, a mafia friend of mine said, don't look to the right, don't look to the left, run your own race. And it was a great piece of advice. So I don't know why they're coming to see me. I guess maybe because I live in the moment.
Is given
Luck
to
is
you.
really, if you've worked harder than anybody else, you are going to get lucky and get that job, usually.
But you've got to work, so
You've
you
gotta
can't
work.
just sit on your laurels and wait for it to come to you.
Anyone that sits, I have friends, anyone that sits around, nobody's going to ring your bell except the Avon lady.
Ding dong.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
Opportunity, make your own. There's no big daddy out there. Nobody cares about you, and nobody's going to help you unless your dad owns the company.
And then if your dad owns the
And then if your
company,
dad dies,
then
honey, you're out.
success.
Success, enjoy it while you have it. I have friends, again, I go back to show business. They won't leave me alone. You moron. You work 15 years to have people want your autograph. Give it with pleasure.
Happiness.
Don't worry about happiness. Happiness is being busy. If you've done a busy day and you've worked very hard and you've done a good job, that's happiness.
Parenting.
Most important thing in the world. That's why society's in the toilet.
Toilet.
That's why. And never mind yourself. It's the one case. Take care of your child first. Give your child the opportunity because you're halfway dead.
You think role models are important, don't you?
Very important.
Who've been your role models?
very, Eleanor Roosevelt, so ugly, so homely, so pushed aside by a mother-in-law that was so domineering, who just said no, and went ahead and came out of the closet, was a lesbian. In a time we weren't even allowed to spell it.
Right.
Good for her. And look what she did for the world. Incredible role model. Winston Churchill, 64, and they said he's over, he's a drunk. Saved us from World War II. Saved us from Hitler. Won the war.
That was Lady Astor, was that?
Lady Astor. But the whole, Stalin said, how's Churchill? And she said, finished, over, a drunk. And
Look
4
what
years
happened.
later, he saved the Western world.
What is the best business lesson you had to learn?
Always, before you have someone sign a big contract for your stuff, put a roofie into their drink. Works like a charm. The best business lesson is, and again, it's in your book, quality. You have to be proud of your product. I don't care what it is. You have to really believe in your product and believe this is the best there is. Whether it's my comedy or it's my physical things that I make. That's it. What about, did you think?
Totally agree.
One more.
Times are such tough times, and there are no boundaries anywhere in life, so there's certainly not going to be any boundaries on stage for a comedian. We're told every day we may go to war, and in New York, we're waiting to be blown up. I mean, you have no idea. Every day since 9/11 is a given day. So I think it's very rough times.
I hope her legacy will continue to be that of somebody who was prepared to tell jokes that most people would not tell at a time when most people wouldn't do them. We lionise Lenny Bruce for exactly the same qualities, but because Joan Rivers lasted a long time, it became very easy to see her as sort of, you know, what a joke, because she was an old woman, because she had plastic surgery, because of all the things that, you know, we can't bear. Women should just sort of disappear and we can hide them in a cupboard and then we don't have to think about them. And because she continued to push boundaries, because she became, if anything, more shocking as she got older rather than less, because she could get away with saying worse things on TV without getting put in jail. I hope she reminds us that comedy should push at the edges of what we find acceptable.
I'm going to be cremated. You're going to be cremated. You're too young to think about this. Except I'm scared. What if they lose the ashes? You always hear these stories. What if I end up being snorted by Whitney Houston? What if I end up... That could happen. I could be mixed into a bag or something, you know? I could end up at Bobby Brown's ass. I mean, it's just... I worry. Sure, you wouldn't give a shit if it happened to me.